Well, just getting going here. Raking. Since it's kind of cooling off a little bit, feels a lot nicer outside. So, some stuff raked up tonight. Dad just started baling behind me too, right away. So hopefully the moisture's okay. But yeah, here's the different rake we got here. It's a 16-wheel Enorossi V-Rake. So it's basically a lighter version of the Citrix H&S rakes, pretty much. So, what? Got it pretty much for doing this, for merging two windrows together, and some other odds and ends too. Instead of using our Rouse rake on for doing this like we did last year, we don't really use the whole width of it, but we'll still need the Rouse rake quite a bit yet, though. When whatever we do at the bar mowers, places, sloughs, and the Rouse rake for that stuff. For that, we need to utilize the full width of it, and where the crop is heavier, it does a much better job. So I ain't gonna lie though, the Rouse rake really spoiled us on some things, though, that's for sure. Really does. Yeah, I'm using the Massey. I still got the loader off. I gotta change the fuel filter sometime on it since I got the loader off. I don't want to do that yet. They're not due yet, but I'm gonna want to do them though anyways, though. Time is right, so need to use as big of a tractor on the rake, but basically the one with a cab that's available. So the ACO is gonna go on retirement for a couple months here, so I'm not gonna drop the loader off that. I'm gonna keep the loader on it and just leave it in the shed for now. I think it gets enough hours on it. But it's so dusty this year, it's like I want to be inside of a cab. I mean, yes, it's a bigger tractor, it doesn't hurt anything, but fuel usage probably a horse a piece. TS6 or the little TS. The little TS would probably use a little less fuel, but the thing is, it's wear and tear on these tires too. More wear on the tires. Puts more hours on this tractor. This tractor's more money to replace eventually, so it's one of those things. Yeah, it's fine to run bigger equipment when you need to, but there's a limit though. The bigger the machine, the higher costs there are, maintenance and whatnot, so it adds up. It's weird going to this rake being so used to the Rouse rake. It's really weird. It's, I'm so used to the Rouse rake because it takes such a bigger swath and the turning is a little different, and so it's kind of getting used to this thing a little bit. That probably when I jump back to the Rouse rake, then at some point I'm not going to be used to it now because I'm going to be used to this rake. So definitely that Rouse rake has a lot of perks on it. There's a reason why they're a lot more expensive. You do get what you pay for rakes, that's for sure. There's no denying that. there's no comparison. I would say it's literally comparing an apple to an orange. Even though they both are rakes, but there's quite the difference though. So other guys will say the same thing. A really used Rouse rake that I have worn down teeth will outrake a brand new rake, lighter duty rake like an H&S with brand new teeth. It will outdo it. But for something like this though, it doesn't really matter what type of rake I think you have. Lighter crop don't really matter. Eventually too, when we cut back on the cows too, gradually, we won't need as much hay anymore, so I figured probably in a few years, we'll end up just reselling this rake, so we don't need it as much anymore. So I'm not selling the Rouse rake, I don't think so. Nope. Yeah, it's crazy to think too, this field only laid for not even 30 hours. And it's plenty dry enough. the Baler monitor shows anywhere from like 9 to 10 moisture at most of the time, but when you go to a draw where the crop's a little heavier, then it gets up to 14, 15 then, so it's like, that's crazy. I'm just about done with this field here. I'm gonna jump over to another field and give it a whirl. Not sure if I'll be able to bale it all up or not, but give it a whirl. Might be able to. Might be dry enough. Since I checked it this afternoon, I had quite a few more hours of drying yet. So, but see how that goes, and yeah. And then I'm probably gonna start raking the last field then, and that I'm cut down, and just to get some of it raked up at least, so what I can manage. So. Gotta wait till Dad bales it a little bit, because the north side, the water spots there is kind of screwy, so easy to rake when he can bale. I mean, I can probably rake everything if I really wanted to, but it's a lot easier if he'll bale up some of the windrows and get them out of my way. I just have my side LEDs on for now. I don't need my rear cab lights right now. I can see everything back there. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but I can see everything back there pretty good right now. I turn them on when I'm doing the end of the field, or if I need a little more light, I'll flip them on. So. But it's pretty windy outside right now. Just got turned around there, the ditch, you can see the grass in the ditch is moving pretty good. It's probably 15 miles an hour, I bet, outside. So that's pretty rare to have wind at night. The only time you have wind at night is if you have a severe thunderstorm, or during the winter when it's ugly out, or in a drought. That's the only time you have wind at night. So on this second field here, Dad's still going yet, so it must be dry enough. He'll probably get a bale on every windrow here in this draw here. He's got one on his first pass, and he's got one here.
Just got here now with 16.
Wow, really? Really? I didn't think this would be this dry by now. That's unreal. Maybe this summer we gotta spread manure. We got a field closer to home that might have manure, but we might come out here to spread some on this field, or on where unless we get the oats off, we'll spread some over there. But we'll see what happens though. The tractor just putzing along. Just over a gallon an hour. Just putzing. This field I could go quite a bit faster if I wanted to, but I try to be gentle with the hay crop. That's this thing. It's one of these things. It's not all about speed. If I wanted to, I could have been done raking by now, but no, that's not all what I'm about right now. I want to keep all those leaves on as much as I can. We just got weird stuff going on tonight. Dad saw some cattle on the south side of this field, just crossed in front of him. He's gonna go dump a bale, so he sees 3 or 4 critters come walking through in front of him. He dumped the bale, and then he went to drive around to look for him, and here they're gone already. Kind of heading southeast towards the water, so I don't know. I raked a little bit this afternoon, a little trail here with the little 6-wheel rake, and I didn't see our cows at all over here. I think they were in the trees that we opened up for them a couple days ago. That's where I think they were cooped up today, the breeze and getting it in the shade. So I'm gonna have to run over here tomorrow morning to see if we can't see if there's some extra critters around here somewhere. It's a little cool out. Maybe it's only 70 degrees out. Yeah, that stuff's plenty dry up here. Must be holding together pretty good. Put my locks back into place here. Yeah, that is 15-mile-an-hour wind out at least. At least. Ooh. Bugger. My wing locks go back in it. I had to modify them a little bit. They had a rope. See those white ropes hanging there? Those hooks. They had a rope that went up to the tractor that you just yank on it, and then you run your hydraulics. Then you hold the locks open by hand. But it's just the way it's angled with the ropes and everything. Like, you have to pull pretty darn hard, and even then, sometimes depends on the terrain. Like, they wouldn't unlock sometimes. So I tried to modify them. I just cut the rope. I tried to just use hooks and knots, but then I ended up just using tarp straps then. And yeah, so far it's been the easiest thing to work. Plus, with that rope way up by the tractor, is trying to get it hooked or running it into the cab or trying to keep it tied up so it doesn't get hooked on the tire. I was kind of having some issues there with it, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna simplify it and tarp straps. Easy peasy. Yes, I gotta get out of the tractor to do it, but with the way the rope was before, it was, I don't know, it was more of a nuisance than a quick and easy thing. So rope system, good in theory, but it just wasn't quite working for me, put it that way. Plus with my system too now, like with those tarp straps, I can keep them locked, the locks away. So say you have to get through some place or something, fold it up. You don't have to worry about unlocking it, you just fold it up and you can unfold it right away without having to fuss with anything. So yeah, it didn't matter with my way I had my window shield set up. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Everything was ready to go anyways. All about the same. Interesting. That's about all I can say is interesting. Well, so far, the bales we got so far. Maybe everything's doing a bale and a half an acre. Maybe so far. Yeah, those critters Dad saw last night. Yeah, we found them this morning. They were a mile east of our farm now. And calling around to some of the neighbors to see who they were, and one of the neighbors was checking his cows this morning and was missing 5, exactly 5. So I think we actually got hold of another neighbor, which in turn, this other neighbor called that neighbor to wondering if he's seen any of his yearlings, and he said no, but we just called saying that, hey, we found there's 5 yearlings by our place here. So got him in here, used our corrals here, brought him home. One was, out of the 5, one was pretty dumb, one of them was, but got him in, on his way then. So that won't be the last time cattle get out around here probably. I'm just waiting until we start having problems, so it's probably coming. But yeah, so that's how that turned out. So Dad wasn't dreaming last night, so kind of ugly working in the sheds right now. Dad's hauling grain right now, so I'm waiting for him to go fill up the truck again. So but yeah, this is what the temperature is in the shed right now. It's only gonna keep climbing, so we'd love to get out on grease in here. So when we can make bales, we can go. Dad. That's bent. She's bent. I just noticed that. Yeah. Must have hooked it with the dual at some point. Wonder when the heck that happened. Won't be the first time. That's probably with running duals. We usually take them off, but I don't know, the tractor just rides so much nicer. It's less work to take them off. This rides so much nicer, but that's one of the downsides, though. You can hit the door. He must have turned too sharp, so I gotta. Hopefully it's not too bad. It's just warped a little bit. Did that to our other baler, or last baler too. Did the same thing. So at least the door still shuts nice, so it didn't hit too bad. But yeah, I gotta work on that. So I wish these things were just. Sometimes they could be a little bit longer hitch. Sometimes a little bit longer. I know you got to worry about the drive line then, but just make it a longer drive line then. So guys that run duals then works better then. So I don't know. Like I say, we used to take the duals off. We used to quite a bit, except for wet years. But I don't know. We just leave them on. We just don't want to fight them anymore for now. Just a lot nicer ride. Then when we do sloughs then the fall of the year, then you hardly sink with this thing then. Don't leave any ruts or anything with that thing.